Jai Shri Krishna, dear friends. Now, this topic is very close to my heart because I've heard many of my friends asking about this question, which they've read here and there. And, I thought let us make a nice video. Whether, if you like this video, you can circulate it with your friends and other family members who have these kind of misconceptions related to our Sri Bhagavan Ramachandra, or you can just use this information. None of our rishis, sages have ever patented anything. So if you like to rephrase it, if you like to re-put it in your words and share it, please do so. If you want to share this as it is, I'll be more than happy. Okay, so let's consider, whenever we understand any scripture, what we have to look at the way the entire scripture has been written, the way in all the characters have been described. Now, looking at Lord Sri Rama's character, the Ramayana very beautifully explains the 16 Kalyan Gunas of Lord Sri Ram. So, what are these 16 Kalyan Gunas? There are many, but I would like to focus on a few. How is he? He is Gunavan. How is he? He is Sattva Pradhan. How is he? He is Dharmagya. Okay. Sarva Bhuteshu Kohita, which means someone who's thinking of the well-being of each and every being all the time. Okay. And also Vishnu in itself means someone who is who is in all beings and within whom all the beings lives. Okay, like we have seen in Bhagavad Gita, the Virat Roop of Lord Shri Krishna, where he clearly shows Arjuna that, everything is inside him and, everything is coming out of him, living in him and going back to him, merging back to him. So this is what exactly Vishnu means. Okay, so considering all this, where everything is non-different from Lord Sri Ram, how can he eat meat or the flesh of another being which is non-different from him? Okay, so he's someone who's full of compassion for all the beings. Okay, Sarva Bhuti Hite Rata. He's always engaged in the well-being of all the other beings. So that needs to be kept in mind. What else we need to keep in mind is there are almost 24, there are exactly, in fact, 24,000 verses in Ramayana. Okay, and out of these 24,000 verses and 500 sargas, there are just 4 or 5 verses which are indicative of non-veg, which not exactly mean also non-veg. Because when we translate certain things in English, the translation can always misinterpret the exact meaning which in this verse, when Sri Rama is leaving for the Vana and Mata Kaushalya is lamenting, so Lord Sri Ram reassures his mother that, mother, although I'll be living for 14 years in the forest, I'll live like a monk. I'll live the life of austerity. I'll live the life of piety. I will not forget what you've taught me in spite of apada. Now, there is something in our dharma which is called apad dharma. So, this apad dharma is the contingency plan. Okay. In case of extreme emergency, there are certain leeways which you can take out of dharma. But the moment you are out of that emergency, you have to come back to your dharma, the regular dharma. And you have to do all the necessary things to overcome the mistakes you've done in that emergency period. Okay. So, in this verse, Lord Sri Ram reassures his mother that, mother, even though I'll be living in the forest, there might be scarcity of food or fresh fruits or roots or flowers. In that case, also, I will not forget what you've taught me. I will not forget my dharma and I will never ever eat meat. So, this is what he is reassuring. A child who's going to the hostel may still reassure his mom that, mother, I will never ever drink any kind of intoxicating substance in spite of being in the company of other boys who might be drinking. I will not, that doesn't mean he is drinking at his home. He's just reassuring his mother that he will not do it even in the hostel. In this verse, Lord Sri Rama is sitting with Mata Sita. And it says that he is feeding Mata Sita with mamsa. Okay, now this word mamsa is not always what it is meant as, meat or flesh of an animal, but it also means the pulp of the fruit, or it can also be used for a semi-liquid substance like a kheer, okay, or a preparation made of rice. So this also doesn't mean that he ate or he fed Mata Sita with non-veg in any case at all. Okay. Here, Lord Hanuman is telling Mata Sita that Mata, though our beloved Ram is in extreme sorrow because of your separation, but he is still maintaining what the Raghukul Riti is. He is not eating meat, he is not drinking alcohol in spite of extreme sorrow also. He is living how a Raghuvanshi should live. That is without any kind of intoxication, without any kind of meat eating. So this also doesn't mean that he used to eat before. He's just saying like any other Raghuvanshi, he's in case generally people, when they are in sorrow, they make it an excuse and, they drink and they do the behavior which is not wise. But he is reiterating, Lord Hanuman is reiterating that Sri Rama is still not, in case of extreme sorrow, not eating meat or having any kind of alcohol. Okay. So this also very beautifully can be negated. Now coming to the next, Suparnakha describes Lord Sri Ram and Lakshmana to her brother. Okay. What she says is, she says that, those two beautiful young boys who are in the forest are living like monks. They seem to be like monks. And what they are doing is they are living a life of ascetic, and they're living on fruits, roots, and flowers. They are not eating anything else. They live on fruits, roots, and flowers. So this also reiterates the fact that they have not been eating any kind of non-veg in any case. Now, there is something in our Shastras which is called Ardha Kukuti Nyay. Now, this Ardha Kukuti Nyay is half-cooked truth. Okay. So, like there's someone who's got a hen who gives golden eggs. So the person wants the eggs but doesn't want to feed the hen. So he'll cut the hen into half and he'll just want to take the portions which are beneficial to him. This is what some people do to our scriptures. They just want the golden egg, but they just don't want to do the tapas, or, they don't want to go with the things which are asking for them to change for the better. Let's not be like that. Let's not look at things from a very narrow perspective. Let's look at the picture in entirety. Let's look at Lord Sri Ram's behavior, which is Trigunatit, which is beyond all the three gunas. Someone who's beyond three gunas will not just for the pleasure of his tongue eat another being. Also, something which has been explained by our acharyas, the great acharyas, is we must follow these Mahapurushas, these avatars, sankalpas. We must follow their sankalpas. We must not follow their cheshtikas, which is we must not try and do or emulate what they did. But what we must emulate is we must emulate what they're saying. We must not do what Sri Krishna did. We must follow what Sri Krishna told us in Bhagavad Gita. That is Sarvabhuti Hite Ratah. We must always be engaged in the well-being of all, one and all, and see ourselves in all beings and all beings in ourselves. Jai Shri Krishna.